Now, we're taking a question. This person wanted to remain anonymous. Some questions people are just scared to ask because they're afraid of the answers. There's topics that people are afraid to talk about. This is one of those, and it's about relationships and weight loss and transformation. It's an important topic, and I think we should talk about it. I've lost 75 pounds in 2 years. I'm married and have been with my partner for 12 years. They've always been inactive and enjoy junk food, which I associate with my past self. Now I prioritize different things like healthy food, working out. Food isn't just the main focus anymore. My partner's mobility is declining and they're not interested in changing, even though they're proud of me. It's starting to cause a rift between us. They don't criticize me, but there is a disconnect. I've changed and they haven't. The person then asked how to navigate this, saying, I never expected getting healthy to change my marriage so much in this way. This is such a important topic to discuss here because many of you are in a relationship right now as you're seeking to change. And the reality is, if you and your partner have both been overweight and food was a major part of your life and sitting, doing stuff, always sitting, and you're changing all that, the reality is you're changing the unspoken contract of the relationship. And this is tricky. It's hard to know sometimes how to lead by example without pushing, but you also feel that when you go to do these things, you feel the pulling away. Sometimes it makes a person feel like they're pitted between choosing a connection or sacrificing their growth. Or it's like, but how do I do both? And this is a tricky topic. So thank you again for sharing this. Because as I said, this happens a lot during long-term transformation. And we're just not often warned about this when we start. You expect weight loss to change your body. You don't expect it to reshape your entire marriage, but it does. Because as you evolve, the foundation, I guess, of the relationship, it'll start shifting, it'll feel like. And sometimes this shift can bring you closer, actually. But sometimes it actually creates distance. So let's talk about what I think is really going on here. Again, I don't have all the information, but based off of what I'm reading. Relationships, they thrive with two things I've learned. You need compatibility and you need chemistry. If you lose one, the relationship can feel a little bit like limping. It's like you rolled an ankle, right? You can still get around, but you're definitely compromised. Now, if you lose both, chemistry and compatibility, it's like breaking both your ankles, and it's tough. But you see, especially with the compatibility one, it's not necessarily always about love. Love comes into it, but it's also about shared values, shared rhythms of life, shared priorities, what's important to you, what's not important to you. And right now, it sounds like you're in a value shift. You're becoming someone new. You're changing your routines, your lifestyle, even your identity is probably evolving. The way you want to spend your time is starting to change. And because of how you want to spend your time, it's causing your very routines to change. And so you want to go to the gym, and your partners, you all use, I'm going to hypothetically make something up. I don't know. Let's say you both usually were sitting at home watching TV after work, but you're now wanting to take an hour and a half of that time to go work on yourself. It literally will and it's always you doing it. It will feel like you're always pulling away. That's what it's always going to feel like, as opposed to if your partner was doing something, you could be like, well, I'm just going to do my thing while they're doing their thing. It's tricky when you've only had an our thing and not a my thing. That's not me. Now, some people did. We did it with things like games and things like that. But, your partner, though, while proud of you, it sounds like the truth is your partner is not evolving in the same direction as you are. So here's what I've got to say first. People change. We all do. And when we get married, we're not just committing to who someone is in that moment. We're also committing to who they will become. You're going to have to continually fall in love with your person again, because you loved the person they were when you met, but they're going to grow. You have to continue to fall in love with them into this new version. So your partner is, does your partner love this new version of you? Do you love your partner now? We're going to circle back to that, but I want to talk about, as I read your question, there's one thing that was missing. what does your partner think? What does your partner feel about all this? What is your partner afraid or hoping for, or quietly dealing with? Like you said, your partner is proud of you. You didn't tell me how you know that. Like if you are inferring it or if your partner has said it, I don't know. They are different, right? But that's what your partner thinks about you, feels about you. What is your partner feeling? What is your transformation causing your partner to feel? I would be curious about that. And you might know that and you just haven't included it in the post, which is totally okay. But if you don't know that, and for anybody listening, make sure you're finding out what your partner is feeling. Don't be just interested in your side. But the only way to find that out, and honestly, probably the only way you're going to get through this whole thing, is through frequent, honest, and compassionate conversation. Because when you're in a relationship, transforming is disorienting not just for you, it's disorienting for your partner. It's very disorienting. If your partner doesn't know what you're feeling, or if you don't know what they're feeling, that gap between you might continue to silently grow. And that is how resentment builds. Untold truths are like mold in a house. It grows in the dark. And sometimes you don't even realize the mold is going until you discover the rot years later. And couples, this happens. Resentment sometimes build under the surface, completely unknown. But because there's not enough open, honest, fully genuine communication, it can cause problems down the road and spoil the relationship. So have the conversation, even if it's hard. Actually, especially if it's hard. Ask them, but do it with curiosity. Ask them, how are you experiencing our relationship lately? Tell them, I'm feeling a little distant. Are you feeling it too, or is it just me? Check in with them. Maybe it's a shared experience. And if it's not, your partner deserves to know this is how you feel. You could ask your partner, what does it feel like to be on the outside of what I'm doing? Like, I feel like I'm constantly pulling away to go work on me. And sometimes I'm feeling this guilt because I want to be here with you and I don't want to like make you feel like I'm rejecting you, but I really need to spend this time to work on me. Can you give me some reassurance or help me know how you're feeling? Like, you could just talk to them. Let them know what you're feeling. Let them know what you're afraid of. But you got to also be truly willing to hear what they're feeling, what they're afraid of. Because then once all this is out in the open, now you can begin to work on it together. But I want to be really honest with you. Sometimes, and this is for everybody listening, actually. Let me just address this one as a general, because I don't know enough about your situation. I'm not comfortable directing this to you. Let me just talk about relationships and transformation in general. Sometimes a person on this journey, the lifestyle shift is so profound that the compatibility doesn't survive. It becomes a canyon between the two people. Sometimes only one person truly sees how deep the rift has become. And often it's the changing person, because the changing person, to change, you often have to connect with a deeper sense of reality. And the other person might still be in denial that you're not changing that much. So in other words, sometimes these transformations end relationships. And I'm not saying this to push anyone towards ending a relationship. I'm not. But what I'm just saying is some relationships don't survive real transformation. That's not failure. That's just the truth. This happens for all sorts of major changes, not just weight loss. Anything where a person has a tremendous healing work. I've learned a lot about EMDR the last year. I'm going to use this as an example. Sometimes when trauma heals a person, that person finally sees what they couldn't see before. And sometimes when a person heals, they realize that they built and got into a relationship from a wounded place. And now that the wound is gone, the illusion that made the relationship look like it fit goes away too. Sometimes people in transformation wake up and realize they're in a relationship they never should have gotten into in the first place, but their trauma made it where they couldn't see that. And so the relationship ends. But here's my challenge to everybody listening, okay? Turn over every rock before you get there. Do not jump to, it's over. Guess it's too late. We don't agree. Guess we might as well end this thing. No, it's not what I'm saying. Don't do that. Flip over every rock, look for every solution, do whatever you got to do. You think therapy is expensive? Try divorce, okay? Do what you got to do. Don't jump to ending it. But also, on the other side of that coin, don't sit back hoping it's just going to fix itself. No. If you are going on a big transformation, if you and your partner are both obese when you started this journey, do not just hope that your relationship sorts itself out. Attack that head on. Do the work. Have the conversations. Go to therapy together if you need to. Many of you might need to. And give each other the chance to grow into the next version of yourselves. This is your turn, right? Don't abandon them because you've changed, because one day the tables are going to turn. They might change and outgrow you. And then you're going to not want to be left behind. Grow together, and you may not always grow at the same rate. But sometimes in this process, it becomes clear that you're walking in two different directions. Sometimes that happens. And if that happens, my advice, release with love. Don't release with bitterness. Don't release with blame. Release with peace and respect. No matter what happens, if you've done everything you can, you'll know that you did your part. You'll know you truly did everything possible. You know, if you communicate open and honestly, you'll know you told the truth. If you ask for their feelings, you'll know you tried to get them to talk. You'll know that you have honored yourself. You have honored the relationship. That's what it means to grow with integrity. That doesn't always mean you save it. Sometimes it ends. But don't rush to it. Do everything you can to save it. Communicate, communicate, communicate. Great question. Glad we got to talk about this. This is the Becoming Thin podcast.